I want to talk about something that happened last Friday night that I think a lot of people underreacted to. Anthropic switched off its most powerful AI model, not because of a bug, not because of a server issue, because the United States government sent a letter and told them to. Let me walk through what happened and then tell you why I think it matters more than the headlines suggest. On Friday, June 12th at 5:21 in the evening Eastern Time, Anthropic received a letter from the US Commerce Department. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick signed it with input from the Bureau of Industry and Security. It was an export control directive. In plain terms, it told Anthropic that two of its models, Fable 5 and the more restricted Mythos 5, could no longer be used by any foreign national, whether that person was sitting outside the US or inside it. The ban even covered Anthropic's own staff who are not American citizens. Here is the part that surprised me. Anthropic could not find a clean way to block only foreign nationals. So it simply turned both models off for everyone, globally. Paying enterprise customers, ordinary users, and its own employees all lost access at the same moment. If you were in the middle of a session, your work started throwing errors, and new requests quietly got routed to older models like Claude Opus 4.8. Every other Anthropic model kept running, only Fable and Mythos went dark. What made it sting is the timing. Fable 5 had been public for about 3 days. Anthropic shipped it, the government heard about a problem, and the whole thing got yanked before most people had even tried it. The letter itself did not spell out the national security concern in any detail, which I find a little odd for an order this serious. Anthropic's own reading, which it published the same night, is that the government had been shown a way to jailbreak Fable 5. A jailbreak just means getting a model to do something its safety rules are supposed to block. So what was the scary technique? According to Anthropic, someone pointed the model at a specific code base and asked it to find software flaws. That is a code review. Developers do this every single day. Anthropic says the flaws that turned up were minor and already known, and that other public models, including OpenAI's GPT 5.5, find the same things without needing any trick at all. There is a back channel detail too. An administration official told Axios that Commerce moved after a rival company claimed it had jailbroken Mythos, which spooked officials. The same reporting says the Trump administration had already tried to stop Anthropic from launching the model and did not succeed. So the export order reads, at least to me, like a second attempt to put the genie back in the bottle. Anthropic did not roll over quietly. It complied because a legal order is a legal order. But its public statement was more of a defense than an apology. The company laid out the work it had done. It said Fable shipped with the strongest safety measures it has ever built. So strong that plenty of users had been complaining the model refused harmless requests. Before launch, it ran adversarial testing with the US government, the UK's AI Safety Institute, outside firms and internal teams for thousands of hours combined. Nobody found a broad jailbreak that cracks the model open across the board. Anthropic also forced a 30-day data retention rule on Fable so it could study and shut down new attacks quickly, a policy that costs it business with privacy-conscious customers. The argument I keep coming back to is this one from Anthropic. If a country can recall a model used by hundreds of millions of people over a single narrow weakness that rival models also have, then no frontier model could ever ship again. That is a fair point. What a lot of the coverage skipped is that Anthropic and the US government have been fighting for months. Back in July 2025, Anthropic and the Pentagon signed a deal that would have made Claude the first frontier model cleared for classified networks. By February 2026, the talks fell apart. The Pentagon reportedly wanted Claude available for all lawful purposes with no usage limits, and Anthropic refused. The Department of Defense then labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk, a tag normally reserved for foreign adversaries, and told defense contractors they had to certify they would not use Claude. In March, a federal judge in San Francisco paused that Pentagon order while the case worked through the courts. So this is not a single misunderstanding between a company and a regulator. It is the latest round in a longer standoff between a safety-focused AI lab and an administration that wants fewer limits on how these tools get used. A few things bother me here. First, the reasoning. If the capability that triggered the ban already exists in GPT 5.5 and other tools, then pulling Fable 5 does not remove that capability from the world. It just removes the version that came wrapped in heavy guardrails and active monitoring. That feels backward to me. You are punishing the company that built the brakes. Second, the precedent. One letter, sent at 5 p.m. on a Friday, took a live product away from millions of users worldwide with no public hearing and no detailed evidence attached. Whatever you think of Anthropic, that is a lot of power used very fast. The same mechanism could land on any lab tomorrow. Third, the message it sends to everyone outside the US. The order specifically targets foreign nationals. I am not American, and reading that a tool I rely on can be switched off for me based on my passport is a strange feeling. It pushes people toward models they can run on their own machines, where no government order can reach. I saw several developers saying exactly that within hours of the news breaking. Anthropic says it believes the whole thing is a misunderstanding and that it is working to restore access. I hope that is true and soon. But even if Fable 5 comes back next week, the lesson stays. The most capable AI is now close enough to national security that governments will reach for export controls the same way they do with chips and weapons. For me, the takeaway is simple. The era where a frontier model was just a product you bought is ending. These tools are turning into strategic assets, and that means politics, borders, and government letters are part of the story now, whether the companies like it or not. I will be watching to see if access returns and on what terms. If it does not, this Friday night will be remembered as the moment the line between an AI product and a controlled technology quietly disappeared. See you in the next one.